I'm a dairy farmer just up the road from Dave, about in a straight line, probably about 5 or 6 kilometres closer to the mountain. So lots more rainfall, a bit colder, a bit wetter. But yeah, similar soil types, but without an iron pen under my farm. Dave will have an iron pen under his farm down at that level. But we seem to miss that. There's not a stone on the farm. So my journey started probably about 4 years ago with the purchase of a tow and fert sprayer, and I made that call, significant capital, but I made that call because I wasn't real happy with the system that I was using. Was granular chemical fertilisers, synthetic fertilisers. There were 3 outfits that were getting quite wealthy out of my farm system. One of them was a fert company, one of them was a feed company, and one of them was a pharmaceutical company, and the other was finances, banks. By the time that all sucked on the sand, there wasn't a lot left for me. So that's okay. We needed to make a change, and I used to own another farm directly up the road from Dave, straight to the mountain, but much higher again than where I am now. And it was really wet, like it was only 2 farms down from the bush, 1 farm down from the bush really. And in the springtime, too wet and too cold to put granular urea on. So an outfit here in Taranaki developed a system where they used called FPA, Brett Emini with these helicopters, fine particle application. They used to grind up urea and potash and stuff, and they would turn it into a slurry with some water and spray it onto the chopper. Fantastic results, unbelievable. Okay, so it was foliar fed. You could get around a place when you couldn't get around with a truck or a tractor, and the results were fantastic. So therefore I learned through observation that, and some trials by just putting ground sheets down, so we had trial patches that hadn't been affected, that the system worked. Foliar spray and fertiliser works. I knew that from that. I did that for about 5 years, and then eventually I sold that farm and moved on to other things. And it was all cool. We went back to a conventional thing for a few years, but niggling in the back of my mind was, there's got to be a better way of doing this. And I ran into a contractor down South Island that was doing it, and had a good yarn to him on the telephone while I was down there. I was farming in Southland as part of my dairy journey. And so I ended up with this machine, got stuck real seriously and really quickly into putting lots of stuff through that machine. Typical for me is lime, lots of lime flour, okay, molasses, we're still using some synthetic urea and some potash. We're quite high altitude, so we need potash, or we consider we need potash. Maybe that could be proven otherwise, but we consider we still need potash at our altitude with our rainfall, on 2.5 metres of rain, or thereabouts. And into the things like the natural things like the humates, the fish, the seaweed, lots of animal health type things, such as the cobalt and selenium. Those are just trace elements we always seem to need for animal health. It's just easy to apply with this machine. And also seed, small seed. So we can chuck clover, the chicory, plantain at the same time as their fertiliser and all that sort of stuff off around the farm. So that was my beginning to the diverse pastures thing, and I started that about 4 years ago. I was 12 months into that journey when I met Rachel at that field day that she had with Jules and a few other people, lots of people that are still in this room today. We all sort of met at that one day, and that was sort of the catalyst to the beginning of the journey and the desire to learn more. Okay, the top 2 inches needs to do a lot more growing. So that's all cool. So that machine was transformational in my journey. I use it for a lot of different stuff. I'm convinced that that's the way to go, that foliar spray and fertiliser in a tighter environment for environmental regulations and in terms of resource management is going to be the way to go for us. So that's all I've done really, is I've changed the way I've done my fertiliser, and I've monitored and watched, observed. Part of that is lots of visual soil assessments, observation of animal behaviour and all that kind of carry on. And so that's cool. So what have I seen? Yeah, well, the soil life has really improved massively through, like your visual soil assessment. You can just see what's going on. Pasture-wise, much more dense than it used to be. Okay, it's good, really is, and it's very even. I refer to it as carpet grass. Okay, it's like a carpet, pile of a carpet. It's incredibly even pre-grazing and post-grazing. Animals love it. palatability of the stuff seems to have improved, you know, and it's, yeah, the cows are very content, but they'll graze down to a low level every time, which is contrary to what we're trying to achieve with the regenerative farming. Like, we're trying to you go for the higher residuals and all that sort of stuff. Well, it doesn't matter how long the blast of stuff is pre-grazing, they'll just take it out like it's a lawnmower. And I'm seeing that right through the season, and it does create the odd hiccup every now and again in terms of the fact that when it goes dry, well, we all run out of grass at the same time. But the deeper roots are helping the farm to hold on a lot more than my neighbours, who are still much more conventional. We've definitely got healthier animals. I've got almost no animal health problems within the herd. I'm under 1% mortality for the last 5 seasons combined, average, okay, or 6 seasons. So under 1% mortality. So 300 cows last year, I lost 2. One was brain hemorrhage, she went through a fence and dropped dead, and the other one was a twisted bowel. So, but no other medical type deaths for the season, so I'm pretty happy with that. Farm is chock block full of clover, white clover and red clover. Some of that's as a result of seed that's gone in the machine and been broadcast, others is just naturally occurring, and it's full of it. So one would like to think that that's doing me a lot of good in terms of fixing in, and we can see that by looking at the nodules on the clover when you're doing the VFA. I am still using some chemical fertiliser, okay, some chemical N, some synthetic N, but I'm way down, and the industry cap at 190 units in just doesn't bother me at all because I'm nowhere near it and will never be there. I've got very happy and healthy cows, so incredibly content and incredibly quiet. They're just chilled out. And the other thing I noticed, I've got lots of visitors for the farm, lots of people. We had to buy a RAV4 last week because I didn't actually own a 4-wheel drive vehicle for taking people around the farm, and there seems to be people here every fortnight wanting to look around. There's always another group coming next week. So things are changing. Jules has been on my farm. She's seen the farm. She turned up the very same day that we met at Rachel's actually. And first thing we did was walk into the house beside the cow shed and did a bricks test on the grass, and it was a double digit. And
that's great.
Look at that. So some of it's working. And Jules was able to teach me to monitor the changes I'm making and the things that I'm doing. The first thing you do, I'll go in a couple of 3 days later or a week later and do a bricks test on it. If you've changed something by applying your fish or your humates or your seaweed or whatever you've done, it'll sharpen the bricks. You know, and use a standard sort of time of day. If it's a real dull, cloudy day, bricks will be down. It's just the way it is, photosynthesis. But bricks levels are rising. I do a lot of herbage tests with my feed company. I do still feed a bit of stuff in the shed because it's a real great way of managing high protein grass with starch, okay, to make the cows go better. Cows need starch and inputs as part of their digestion when you're feeding lots of protein in from a green grass. So I'm still using a feed company for that. So it's brought in inputs, but I'm happy in that. I'm very happy and very comfortable in that space. And so we're doing soil testing, the whole soil food web thing with Cheryl, and carbon testing. So I've got 2 years of historical data. Those results have been taken at about 300 to 700 millimetres of depth, and they've gone to Brookside in the States, and I've got 2 years of historical data. We're trying to build a picture of carbon sequestration, and because we're going to get clobbered with a big stick, we as farmers are going to get clobbered for losing carbon, and we don't want to be in that space. And for sure at the moment we can't claim carbon credits, but we need to believe, or need to teach the scientists that we're not, or teach the scientists, teach the parliamentarians, the government officials down there in Wellington, the shiny suits, that we're not wrecking our environment by being farmers. Because I still believe that being a farmer is the most noble of all the jobs on the planet. We feed people. You can't eat your cell phone.